Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Vicky, and yeah, that was not good. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Vicky, and today I will be sharing with you one of a kind. Actually, I feel like is the one and only green smoothie that you should ever really try to sneak into your healthy lifestyle. Without further ado, let me just give you a reason why I'm doing this. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes I watch people actually try some sort of green sludge all in the name of health, and I just watch them like force their way through it, which I feel like is not sustainable long term. It doesn't look appetizing, and I feel like if I was to look at that and try to emulate that all in the name of health, I just don't see myself being able to sustain that long term. So for that reason, I have been experimenting with different green smoothie combinations, and this is the one I've come up with, which I feel like is going to be very beneficial, has a lot of nutrients in there, and I feel like anyone can grab this and go. If you like sweet smoothies where you don't really have to use honey or agave or any of the sweetness to kind of like up the sweetness level, and you don't really have to throw a bunch of stuff in there just to make it sweet and palatable for you, I think this might be the one for you. So without further ado, we're going to start with our first ingredient, which is, drum roll please. You can see I've already started using this. That just shows you that this is something that I do actually drink. This is kale. This is a kale I got, and pretty much what I've come to realize after looking into kale is that kale is king. Kale is king in the sense that it has a ton of nutrients to offer. I'm talking about, if I'm right, let me just read this here for you real quick. So it's got vitamin A, it's got vitamin K, it's got vitamin C, vitamin B6, it's got magnesium, it's got calcium, it's got copper, it's got potassium, it's got magnesium, and it's also got some other form of vitamin B's as well. And it also contains iron and phosphorus. It has some fat to it, believe it or not, but not fat in the form that you're thinking, just a little bit. But most of those fat that it does contain omega-3 fatty acid called linoleic acid. It is also loaded with antioxidant called quercetin and camphorol, and it is extremely high in vitamin C. Believe it or not, a cup of kale actually packs more vitamin C than an orange. Mind blown right now. I had no idea that this guy over here is definitely a powerhouse of stuff. So I've always run away from kale because I've always felt like kale is bitter, it's not palatable, but now that I'm seeing it and how much it's got to offer, it's definitely one to not overlook. Every time you go to the grocery store, try to pick it up, because I feel like kale is something that you want to sneak in as many places that you can. I'm talking about like your smoothie, your soups, your salads, your stir fry, really anywhere you can stick kale into, do it, because it's got a lot to offer. And if you're someone like me that doesn't necessarily use supplements, and you don't really try to make it a conscious effort to find ways to get supplements in your diet, because a lot of us pretty much don't get our daily nutrients from, like, actually our micronutrients, we don't really focus on them as much as we do with macro. Anyways, our vitamins and minerals. Our vitamins and minerals, a lot of us do struggle to get them in on a daily basis, and having something like kale in your diet, I feel like helps bridge that gap a little bit and offers you so much more than you would normally get in your regular diet and stuff. Because I'm someone that has a sweet tooth, and for me, having something that is healthy is something I struggle with sometimes, because I just want to eat chocolate, I want to have a hot chocolate, I want to have anything but the things that I'm supposed to be eating, which are the fruits and vegetables and proteins and everything else I'm supposed to be eating. So for that reason, kale is definitely coming in handy for someone like myself. And it's not as bitter as I thought. It really doesn't taste that much. You might taste a little bit of that greenness to it, but not necessarily something that is going to put you off or be repulsive. So definitely do not shy away from kale, because this bad boy here has got a lot to offer. And then we're going to move on to spinach as well. So spinach also has a lot of vitamins and minerals. It's got vitamin C, it's got iron, it's got calcium, it's also got vitamin A, it's got some fiber in there as well, vitamin K1, folic acid, and some antioxidants as well. These two grains definitely should not be overlooked in your diet at all. And for me, if you know, there's like a ton of different species of like apples, and it's me, there is honeycrisp, and there's Red Delicious, and there's just so many. But for me, I'm more of a Fuji kind of girl, you know. Once upon a time I used to be a Gala kind of girl, but now I'm more in the Fuji arena, and I've like put my stake in the ground, not moving. This is the apple I'm choosing. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Fuji album. I feel like this is just nature's sugar. It's just sweet, it's delicious, it's got some fiber in there, it's got some vitamins in there, it's got vitamin C apparently, it's got some antioxidants in there as well, and it also just has lots of sweetness to it. So if you're thinking of like, oh, you have all this green, how are you gonna make it sweet? Trust me, do not overlook Fuji apples. The other apples, maybe there's some sweetness to them, and if you're someone out there eating Granny Smith, you're brave. You are brave. Hats off to you, because when something is tart, sour, I don't go near it, just for the same reason why I don't eat that much strawberries, because you never really know what you're going to get. Are you going to get a sweet one, a tart one, something in between? I just don't like to take chances like that. Do you know what I mean? So for me, Fuji is my go-to. I used to be able to snack on this, but now I find it difficult to do. So I just like blend it into my smoothie and call it a day, and I still get my nutrients that way. You feel me? Okay. And then last but not least, actually second to the last, I use this particular product. They're calling it a dairy snack, but it's some sort of cultured dairy. I mean, I think there might be a reason why they're not calling it actual yogurt, because I think according to the Code of Federal Regulations, which is kind of like the Bible that the industry follows, there are things that we can or cannot say, or we can't name things a certain thing because there's something called an SOI, which is standard of identity. So if a product deviates from that standard that has been created, for example, for yogurt, then for that reason they can't necessarily call it yogurt. They have to call it something else. Like a snack is fine, because in that way it's more open to be called something else without actually saying that, like, oh, it's a yogurt, but then it doesn't quite fulfill the definition according to the CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations, that it's actually a yogurt if it's not a yogurt. I know that's a lot. That's a lot, but that's just kind of how the food industry works. So this one actually is from Ratio, which is a product created by GMI. I promise you, they're not paying me to say this. I just happen to be someone that saw it on the shelf, tried it a couple times, loved it, and now it's my staple. You go in my fridge, I have like 6 of them, and whenever I go to the store, I pick 10 of them, because I'm like, the next time I come, I might not be so lucky and find them in the grocery store. So when I see them, I'm hauling them into my cart, like no questions. So this one is actually a dairy snack. It's cultured dairy product that has 25 grams of protein, so you're going to get some probiotics in there. It's got some sweetness to it because it has some artificial sweeteners. In this case, this one has erythritol and sucralose. Those are 2 forms of artificial sweeteners that I do like when they're used right, and when they're used in a good combination. I feel like they bring a lot of sweetness without actually the guilt of sugar. And as much as I like sugar that I'll be getting from the apples, I like a little bit on top as well. So this would help with that like creaminess, as well as that like rounding of all the ingredients and stuff. It's just kind of something to pull it together. And also we'll be having our last ingredient, which is our trusty old water. In this case, if you're someone that likes a cold smoothie, that you're just like, oh, I just want it to be cold and refreshing, whatever, you can add ice to it. I just use straight water. That's just me. I use straight water. My freezer can make ice, but I'm not interested. I just use straight water because my teeth is sensitive and I just don't need the coldness, you know. Plus it's winter. When it's cold drinks, when you can have something just pretty moderate temperature. So without any further ado, I'm gonna get my veggies prepped. Let's go. I don't measure this, so it's just pretty much, don't be scared of it. Just pack in as much as you think you can handle. I can have this for breakfast because it's that filling. It's got a lot. At least it can hold me for like solid 3 hours. But if you really want to like make this into a form of breakfast, I would say just combine it with some boiled eggs on the side, some sausage, some turkey, some chicken, just something on the side to have that like extra protein if that's what you're looking for. We're already getting 25 grams of protein from here, and I'm sure there's a little bit of protein in all this like different vegetables and fruits as well. So I would just say, if you want more protein, you want to make this to like a hearty breakfast of some sort, definitely your eggs, your chicken, your meat, your turkey, really anything you can get your hands on. Don't be shy, go for it. So in my case, I just pack like one. I try to pack as much as I can in there, and I try to get rid of the stock too if I can, then that way I don't have to blend it for eternity. And 2, so see, when I come by something like this, which is like a full-on like stock, you can see that stock right there, I would just like trim it off, and that way I don't have to deal with like trying to blend this guy. I don't have a Ninja, so I'm trying to work with the tools I have and not stuck there. Just gonna get rid of that. I really like this smoothie. I feel like since the day I discovered it, I was like, oh, mind blown. I was like, yeah, this is the one. This is it. I think how much spinach you put in there varies the sweetness level. If you don't use any spinach at all, it's actually much sweeter just because there's already so much sweetness in the base of it. By the base of it, I mean like the yogurt is contributing a lot and the apple is contributing some too as well. So that's really how much kale I'm having in here that I'm gonna be adding. I feel like that's a good amount. So I'm just gonna rinse this out. I'm gonna put them in here. They usually say this is like rinsed and ready to go, but it's always nice to just kind of make sure you're rinsing it, then that way you're sure to get everything out the most that you can. It's good enough. So I'm just gonna go ahead and transfer it in here so you can see that's that. And then we're gonna put some spinach in here. And for this I just put, I think that's a good amount. Maybe like 2.5 cups spinach. And if you're someone that likes spinach, even though I'm not using a lot of it, if you want to use more than that, really it's up to you at the end of the day. I just like when there's a lot more kale in there, because then that way I get a little bit more sweetness from this other guys. But do whatever floats your boat. Now this guy here. If you tell me to eat this in a salad, I would struggle, but blending it into a smoothie, oh, so much better. The reason why I like Fuji too, I feel like it's got a lot of like juice to it. Like look at how it's like glistening, you know, like look at that. Look at all that juice in there. Then I just pretty much cut it into slices like that. So when I want to cut, I just cut that way to just cut that off. Don't know how people cut their apples, but that's how I do it. And that way I can at least get the middle piece out. And that's it. So now I'm going to start loading the blender. And also the other thing is that if you want to have more protein, you can add protein powder into this as well. Or you can also always change out the fruit. You don't always have to use an apple. You can use a banana, pineapple, and then you can also use like mango, peach, really whatever fruit you want to use to substitute for Fuji apple. If you don't like apples, it's really up to you. So the possibilities are endless of the different combinations that you can do. I haven't found a protein powder that I really like. I've struggled finding one that is ideal for me. So if you find one that you really like, don't be scared to just throw it in here and really up your protein level or protein amount that you want. So I'm just gonna mix this up now that I need to. So I always try to start with the green. I stuff in all the green in here to just kind of get that blended first, because everything won't fit at once if I try to do that. And then I'll add a little bit of water in there. So that's what my blender looks like. And for water, I probably just use like maybe half a cup to 1 cup of water. So that's 1 cup of water. So if you're writing this recipe down, that's 1 cup. So I always blend it on high first, and then there's a setting in here for green/frozen smoothie. I use that too. I go back and forth between the two. So I do high one time, I go into the green smoothie one time, then I go back to high, and then I go to green smoothie. And at that point, I should have a pretty smooth smoothie once I'm done. But first things first is to kind of get the greens down before I then put other things and then go with the settings. Half cup of water. Go in with the apples. Time to add the yogurt, so we just go in with that. So this is what we have. I didn't do the 3 settings. I just did high, green smoothie, and then high again. So that's what I did. That is a very generous perfect 7. So that's what that looks like. Matcha has nothing on you. Look at that. So that's what that looks like. It's very green and delicious looking. I cannot wait to dive in. Cheers. It's so sweet. It is so sweet. I could finish this in one sitting. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, I definitely feel like you need to try this smoothie out for yourself. Very easy to make. 5 ingredients. You need kale, you need spinach, you need an apple, and you need this yogurt, or the dairy snack they call it. You need this. This is the one. If you use any other yogurt, you might not get the same sweetness. I'm just saying. But get a lot of protein. Water, that's it. Like, it doesn't get any more simple than that. And I feel like if you make this the night before, if you want to take it to work or have it on your commute to work, definitely want to go for. If you feel like this size is too much for you to have, you can definitely use half of the ingredients I used if you don't want to drink that much smoothie in the morning, or if you don't want to really drink that much smoothie. Seriously, half of the ingredients I use, you can definitely use that. And then also I said that, like, you can have this with like your meat protein to like up your protein level. You can also have it with like your plant-based protein as well. Maybe like a bowl of like stir-fried quinoa with some ingredients in there. You can throw chia seeds in there if that's your thing. You know, you can also do some like fried tofu as well. You can really spice it up wherever way you want, but having this smoothie as part of your healthy lifestyle, I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. You're going to be getting lots of vitamins, you're going to get a lot of minerals. You're really going to be getting as much good as you can potentially get. Like, look at all that bowl of kale and spinach condensed to this with lots of nutrients. Come on, it's a no-brainer. You got to try this. But anyways, that is all I have for you today. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.